hopefully, I'm streaming in the right place now. Okay, looks good. That was fun. So, once again, I'm back. Starting a little early tonight. Uh, let's make sure we can run through the entire recap from yesterday where we had some NASCAR and some KBO. Look ahead to tomorrow where we got more KBO. We got some MMA action going. And we're going to revisit Bundesliga and take another shot at the elusiveness of German soccer. So let's recap yesterday real quick. Yesterday we had the NASCAR event. Here we go. You can see. We picked the winner, Elliott. Started 19th, finished first, good points. Harvick, 16th, finished in 10th, but 63 laps led, 37 fastest laps. Good scores. Really good scores for a 10th place finish. Unfortunately, after that, didn't have a lot of great. We had Bowman here who led for 51 laps and then just faded quick. I think he was in some kind of accident or something. 206 laps out of 208. But yeah, so that was not good. Um, you know, Kenseth, not terrible. 8,100 got his 26 points and all that. Moved up 3 spots, not bad. Almirola, not good, really. He was a bit of a money saver, dropped 14 points. Got nothing. No fast laps, no laps led nothing. Di Benedetto, first real disappointment. But even then, 21.5 points for him. Led 10 laps, got 2 fastest laps. For 6,500, that's not bad. But none of it was good enough. So this did not get us into the money last night. So down on the NASCAR for this one. There'll be another NASCAR event on Sunday. We'll look to rebound there. Reviewing the KBO from yesterday. And yeah, things. Yesterday was a screwy day in KBO from what I could tell. First of all, my lock with the concept of being the oh hey, the Eagles and the Wyverns are playing each other, two lowest scoring teams in the league. Now they score 6 and 8 runs respectively, and are essentially one of the high scoring game of the night. Yeah, high scoring game of the night was of the two teams that are the lowest scoring teams in the league. So figure that made sense. So with Kim being the lock, that hurt. Gave up, didn't even get to complete 4 innings, only 2 strikeouts, 6 earned runs, 7 hits, lost us over 5 points. Now on the one team, I spent up on with Vusinski, who did pretty well, 7 strikeouts, only 2 earned runs, scored 22 points. He was the highest priced arm, if you remember. But then the other thing that was screwy last night, the Dinos lost to the Lions. In hitter-friendly Lion Park, the Lions only managed 4 runs. I'm sorry, the Dinos only managed 4 runs. Great. Ugh. It's insane. But, obviously stacked pretty heavy on the Dinos. Did not pay off. Yang, 9 points, okay. Oh, didn't even play, but like I said, that I could accept that given the start time of many of these games. Park started. No, nothing. Nothing at all. The other Park, huge ownership. 1 hit. No. 3 hits, 1 run, 1 RBI. All right. Maybe saving grace there for 3,500. Nah. Over 70% owned. Solo home run, that was it for 14 points. I went with Son from the Giants, just because he seemed to be best available spot there. 3,600, 7 points, I'll take it. And Lee. one base on balls for 2 points. Not good enough. Not good enough to get into the money on that one. Our other lineup again was hampered right off the bat because of having Kim lost his 5 points. The other Kim saved money on this one, did not spend up, but with the two Kim thing, both sides, he did better. 7,400, got 12 and a half points basically, only gave up 200 runs. Still though, if you take both pitchers, and again, it winds up being the highest scoring game of the night, not gonna work out for you. We had Yang again with the 9. We had Choi, who came in good for us with two solo home runs for 28 points. But then just a lot of quiet. Park again with nothing. The other Park with 3. Kim as a money saver, 3 points. The other Kim spending up for 5,500. Nothing from the Bears. And the Bears only got 4 runs. Nah had all right with another solo home run, 14. Lee with a base on ball, so 66.3. So, recapping everything from yesterday, wound up getting shut out there. It did not get into the money in the 2 KBO matches, and did not get into the money in the NASCAR. It's okay though, because what you remember from yesterday's recap, we got into the money in both of our KBOs the day before, and wound up taking in like $8 more than what we had put out. So again, pretty much even over the last 2 weeks, maybe a little bit ahead. So let's jump into what we're going to be looking at. Let's get a little music on too. Let's take a look at what we're going to be looking at tomorrow. First of all, we're looking at some MMA. Now I'm going on a little bit of a reach out on the MMA here, just because it's near the end of the month, and there we go. And like I mentioned, knowing that many of the major leagues are back, I'm looking to rebuild my tier level on DraftKings. And so the mission today was an $8 mission, and the rewards for the mission would give me enough crowns to bump up to the next tier level. So I figured, hey, MMA, haven't placed in the money yet, but I don't know. I don't know. It was right there. It was staring me in the face when I looked at that $8 tournament. So I figured let's extend a little bit on that one and see what happens. So we have a UFC event happening tomorrow. I think there's 11 fights on the docket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 11. Yeah, 11 fights on the docket tomorrow. Pull this up here. And bunch of fights on the docket. You got Tyron Woodley coming back against Gilbert Burns. Woodley he's been a mainstay in the UFC for a while now. Until last year, when he just got manhandled by some guy, I can't remember his name. But he just got dominated. And this, I believe, is his first fight back. Yeah, now that was his first loss in 5 years. But he is turning 38 years old. He is a pretty dominant guy. A lot of people are manhandled. Yeah, that's right. That's what he did. He was manhandled. But he's going back, and there's a big discussion right now as to is he done? Was that a fluke? was it just a bad day, and he's gonna come in. It's been more than a year since he's really been in there, and he's fighting this Gilbert Burns here. Um, this is the main event, and Burns is an up and comer. He's a kind of a new guy. He went 7-1 in his last 8 starts. Um, this was also there was a change in this one where Woodley was originally scheduled to fight somebody else, but he had to cancel because of the virus. Um, Now the um the review has Woodley. Like if you're looking at RotoWire and all of them, Woodley's the guy that everyone's picking. And I'm going with it. I don't know. I have a feeling about this Burns. He's younger. Uh, he's got a real edge in Woodley in terms of submissions. He's a BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter. So I'm starting with I'm picking an upset. I'm picking an upset in the main event. I'm picking Burns, which it saves us a little bit of money off the bat. Now after that, I'm looking at. I'm skipping over the co-main event, um, which is Ivanov against Sakai. Um, Everything I've read about it and everything that I know about the two fighters seems to say it's going to be a pretty slow pace. Maybe guys taking big swings and maybe somebody getting knocked out, but maybe not a ton of action. Um, so I'm skipping over that. I am looking at jumping down to the women's strawweight fight and taking Mackenzie Dern. She's the biggest favorite on the night in any of the fights. Coming at 9,300. Uh, so I think we're gonna throw her in there. Her opponent is Hannah Cyphers right here. You know, and she's won 7 of her last 9 bouts, but all of her wins, all 7 of those wins have come against nobody, like no kind of competition whatsoever. Um, yeah, Cyphers is primarily, almost exclusively a striker. Um, and she definitely she this could turn because she's got knockout power. But I'm assuming the plan is going to be Dern's plan is going to be take her down, and she should be able to dominate her on the ground. So definitely looking at going with Dern as my uh, bigger pick of the evening. Then in the sixth fight, gonna drop down to the sixth fight. Looking at Shevchenko against Chukaigian, and I am going with Shevchenko. Um, the reviews on this one, uh, this is a women's flyweight, and Shevchenko is a pretty Shevchenko is a pretty big favorite. Not a huge favorite, but a decent favorite. Um, from what from what I understand, the flyweight in the UFC, the women's flyweight in the UFC is very thin. That they don't have a lot of uh, they don't have a lot of talent there. Um, and And there's plenty of people saying that this looks like it's just a very ugly matchup for Chukagian. So I'm going to trust them on that. I'm switching over to Shevchenko. Now, the other fights I looked at, I didn't go anybody else on the top card. It looks to me like in the previous events that I saw or that we played in, there were a few instances where people doubled up on the busy one. I still think that works. But it looked like a lot of people were going fairly heavy on the undercard and definitely picking folks that were much more significant favorites. So then I went with Daniel Rodriguez here in the seventh fight for 7,300. He's 11-1. This is another replacement fight where he was scheduled to fight somebody else, and it got switched up on him. And Rodriguez is the second biggest favorite of the night behind Dern. So we're gonna take him. Then I jumped. I really was hoping that I would be able to look at Roberts. Yeah, Roosevelt Roberts. As he is another one of the very big favorites on the night, but it's not there in terms of the salary cap that we have here. Uh, so I went with Hill, Jamal Hill. He's 7-0, and not a huge favorite, but again, he is a favorite. And yeah, and that's where I wound up, not 9,100, just shy of being able to go with Roberts, who would have been my main pick. And since I can't go with him, I wound up looking at, and then number 10 fight, Casey Kenny, who's a pretty heavy favorite at 9,100. So I was looking at that. So this is one way. This is one lineup that I'm looking at here. I might look at trying to, if I'm looking at locks, I'm not locking in Burns, but I definitely would lock in Dern and probably Rodriguez. Yeah, I would lock in. Let me double check that. Yeah, I would lock in Dern and Rodriguez, which isn't bad at all in 7,300, 9,300. You might want to try to find a way to get Roberts in there somewhere. But so those are the Burns is the upset. You might I think there's a lot of question marks around this one. I think that this is one where you might be able to make some headway by going with Burns. I mean, Woodley is fairly decently favored by Vegas, but we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow, and then we will review that. If I go this way or if I switch it up a bit to get Roberts into that lineup. So now let's jump over to our. Not sure how much longer we're gonna do it. We don't know. We don't know. But we're looking at Bundesliga. Why? Why are we looking at Bundesliga again? I don't know. I don't know. So, looking at the reviews and suggestions here. So, folks they're really looking heavily at the midfielders over the forwards today. You know, they're really looking at the midfielders over the forwards today. Um, so one guy that they're talking about looks pretty good. I'm just gonna look here and we'll do the same thing that we've been doing. Um, see who some of the folks are giving insight on, and then and again, I think part of the issue with this is I'm unclear. It seems like there's a lot of different players that get started on any given game. So so yeah, there are people that get suggested and then they don't even see the field. Yeah. So right now in forwards, they're looking at Joseph Bracalo here. No, Joseph Bracalo from Wolfsburg. Nice. Yes, he has a role in set pieces. Second biggest favorite on the slate. Will want to play. He has the second best anytime goal scorer odds, trailing only his teammate Wout Weghorst. Walt Weghorst. Other guys are suggested here. They're talking. Let's see. They're looking at Matthias Cunha. He's the most active attacker for the biggest favorite on the slate. Let's take a look at him. So Wolfsburg is the second biggest favorite. Cunha plays for Hertha. Hertha. He's the most active attacker. Comes in with 4 goals in his last 5 games. Four goals in his last 5 games. Did not get a score in his last game. All right. And then they're also talking about possibly paying all the way down at forward. Looking at Davy Selke, only $3,600. Let's take a look here. Guido Bergstaller. I almost have to take him. His name is Guido Bergstaller. He's the cheapest option here. Lost 3/10 of a point last time. But you know what? If I'm gonna gamble on something, I'm gonna have fun doing it. And thus far, the Bundesliga has not been fun, and not because I haven't been winning it, just because it almost seems like where is the fun in this? So I want to go with Guido Bergstaller. I'm basing this very similar to my Warwick Soppold pick when in the earlier Korean baseball picks. So let's look at Guido, and then let's pair him up with who's the mid-range guy they were talking about? Joseph. There it is, Joseph. Joseph Bacalo. Let's take a look at that. Let's do that. All right, and then who are they talking about for midfielders? Because apparently the midfielders are a bit more expensive this one. So they really like Philip Kostic. Do they like him, or are they just thinking he's overpriced? So he is the most expensive player on the slate today. He has a very bad matchup against Wolfsburg that has allowed the fourth fewest shots, fifth fewest chances, and eighth fewest crosses. And Wolfsburg is the second biggest favorite on the slate. Now, in the last matchup that Kostic had with Wolfsburg, he had 18, still he had 18 fantasy points. Maybe that brings down his ownership. Let's take him. Yeah, the Guido and Joe pair up show. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We got to find a way to have some fun with Bundesliga because it's not fun. So I'm waiting. If I might get, I'm gonna make a call right here that if this fun lineup doesn't wind up getting some money, then I'm gonna bypass Bundesliga, except for the rare occasions where there's just nothing else to bet. So we're gonna put Kostic in there. He's the most expensive guy. So we got Bergstaller, Guido Bergstaller. That's the way he should introduce himself every time he sits down to dinner or at a casino. Bergstaller, Guido Bergstaller. So now we're at 57.60. Can you imagine the looks he would get introducing himself that way? I don't think people would be. They wouldn't be sure. They wouldn't be sure if this was legit. Is he serious? They would say. So here we got Leonardo Bittencourt. Yeah, we're gonna take Leonardo Bittencourt. I don't. Let's see. What's the write up on him? He's an underdog. I love underdogs. And what else? He's only played 28 minutes this week, so he's rested. Let's go with Bittencourt. All right, that takes us down to the defenders. we're looking to save a little bit of money on our defenders. Theodore Gebrselassie. Here he is. 4,100, we're going to take him. Save us some money. And then Daniel Brusinski looks good to me. Or nope. Nope, wait. Bastian Oksipka. You have a choice between Daniel Brusinski and Bastian Oksipka. Don't take in the second one. Now, goalkeeper, we know we're going to save money on goalkeeper because these guys are always cheap. So it seems like goalkeepers literally just take the freaking cheapest starter you can find. I mean, the write-up on this guy is he's the cheapest goaltender because he's the biggest underdog. It's not like Hertha Berlin are a huge favorite. The goaltender's coming off back-to-back clean sheets. Sure, he could get blown up by Hertha Berlin, who have multiple goals in 5 straight Bundesliga games. But hey, it's goalkeeper. So maybe he makes enough saves to counter the goals conceded. It's also the second lowest total on the slate. So if we take him, that leaves us $6,800 left over. Let's jump over to the old depth chart and see. Not depth chart, value report. And see what they have to tell us about who could be the best pick for around 6,800. Looking at, according to the value reports, Munas Daber. Here he is. Munas Daber. That's old news there. He is expected to start. So we're going to go with Munas Daber. And that's going to be our lineup. Again, I'll show the whole lineup here in soccer because there's a good chance you shouldn't listen to me in soccer right now because I don't know. But we'll see what happens. And then, of course, if I wind up with the money, what are you going to do then? So we're going to do that. All right. Then we're going to jump over to KBO. Now, interestingly, Giggly, tomorrow, it's a 4-game slate. All 5 teams are playing. One of them plays at 1 a.m. But for some reason, DraftKings is not including the 1 a.m. start in their lineup. So to give us a 4-game slate. So we'll see. We'll see what I prefer the 5-game slates, I think, but we'll see what happens here. So yeah, so yesterday was a odd matchup. We had the 2 lowest scoring teams in the league playing each other, and they had the highest scoring game of the day. We had the Dinos playing the 3rd worst team in the league. The Dinos were dominant, and they lose. They can only manage 4 points in the friendliest ballpark in the league. So what happens today? First of all, we won't have any what, the Twins. Yeah, we don't have the Twins or the Kia Tigers. Yeah, don't have either one of them. So you gotta think the Dinos are gonna bounce back, right? I mean, they're still playing the Samsung Lions, right? They gotta bounce back. Mike Wright, we've drafted him before. I think we've liked what he's done. Yeah. Yeah, not outstanding. By the way, I'm pretty sure this is actually a friend of mine who we called the Hammer back when we were young. If you take a look at him, I think the Hammer might be playing in Korean baseball. If I can ever find a picture of the Hammer, I'll show it to you here on the stream, and you'll be like, "Holy shit, that looks like Mike Wright." Yeah, the picture for the Dinos. So yeah, so we might consider him. I'm still intrigued by this whole Eagles Wyverns matchup. Lowest scoring teams in the league playing again, right there. What are they gonna do? Score again? They can't. Who else do we like? Mike Wright. Yeah, okay, so Mike Wright's the top suggested pitcher as well. Um, One Tai Choi for the Heroes. Going against the Wiz. He started 4 games. No wins yet. 2 losses. Don't like him too much. Pinto here is pitching for the Wyverns. A win, 2 losses. Wow, 32 hits. Giving up less than 23 innings pitched. 21 runs against 11 base on both 11. Maybe that's why the freaking. Let's see who's pitching for the Eagles. Yeah, okay. So now this would be a game where I'm thinking, oh, yeah, no, stay away from the Wyverns and the Eagles pitchers because they got some bad pitchers out there. And I can almost guarantee you this is going to be a low scoring game. Am I going to take it? I don't know. I don't like Picardo. I don't like Juan Tai Choi. Mike Wright right now is looking like my favorite. Let's take a look at William Cuevas. 15 earned runs. Not bad strikeout. 21-6 strikeout to walk ratio. And this is the Wiz against the Heroes. I think I gotta go with Wright as my lock, just based on how good the Dinos are. That he looks like my friend Hammer, and that they lost in a game yesterday that they should not have lost against a team that they should beat. And the last time that happened to them, they came back the next day and crushed the team. I can't remember who it was now, but it was just last week. So I'm gonna go with Wright as my lock. That's a slightly more expensive lock. So then, if we go over and look at our hitters. Do we try to do something with the dinos? Do we look to jump on the wyverns or the eagles? Because both their pictures appear to be just horrible. It looks like we get a pretty cheap wyvern stack at home. Yeah. Be looking at getting Jung Choi, Su Kwang No, and then Ji Hoon Choi. Where are they back? If we stack the one see now, Romac is batting cleanup. Jung Choi is in third. Su Kwang No is batting leadoff. And then Ji Hoon Choi is batting second. They're not overly favorable on the value report. So how much that write up? How much are those guys just being suggested because of the picture and what happened yesterday? Let's jump back and look at the picture. How bad is he? Shi Huanggang. 1 win, 2 losses. Gave up 30 hits in 20 innings. That's a lot. 16 earned run. Only 1 home run. Walked a lot of people. Okay, so it looks like Pinto here. Yeah, okay, yeah, he had 2 games there right here that just hurt. Still, even in this last game where he only gave up 1 earned run, he have 13 hits and 7 innings pitched. That's really playing with fire. I mean, how lucky did he get there to only give up 1 earned run? I cannot get on board with Pinto. Can't do it. Can't do it. And I'm not really in favor of the Wyvern stack either. You know, here this guy down here, 6,300, lowest price pitcher. He's pitching against the Bears. The Bears are still top or right up there, right? In 22nd, third, what? Third in the league in scoring, barely behind the Dinos. They're the Bears, the Dinos, and the Wiz are all pretty much the same when it comes to their output. This guy's pitching for the Giants. He had a pretty good game last game. Look at that. Huh. Yeah. He got crushed by the Bears in their first matchup. That's a good sign. Let's look at a bear stack then. We're looking for a bear stack. Looking for a bear stack. Well, you know what that means. That Jose Fernandez is going to be in that lineup. So if you grab, let's see, who do you want to grab? You want to try and get. You want to try and get Jae-Hwan Kim right here. Yeah, they got some expensive bats in this lineup, man. They got some expensive bats. Take a look at this. So we go with Jae-Hwan Kim, Fernandez, batting. They're batting 2 and 4. Look at J-Il-O, which is here. But we can't get him in there. He's a first baseman. So we'd have to take Kim out, put O in at first base, move Kim over to the outfield since he's eligible at both positions. And then is there... Yeah, then you get a fantastic money saver at Soo Bin Jung. Right here, Soo Bin Jung. Batting leadoff. So you get the top 4 guys in our lineup right there. Jump back over. Look for your secondary pitcher. Okay, so your options if your secondary pitcher is go with the top 2 guys. You got Mike Wright. Go with Choi. If you did that, you're going to get 3,600. 4 positions left. You can probably squeeze something in there, right? Yeah, I mean you could go with Ji Young Lee, catcher for the Heroes there. He's only 3,000. That's going to give you some room. You could go with You could go with Sukhman Park for the Dinos. He's only 4,300. Not necessarily going to save you money, but you'll be able to fit him in there, I'm sure. Shortstop, you got options there. Jin Hyuk No again for the Dinos. That could work for sure. Might be able to get a little mini Dino stack in there and save some money, and still have a heck of a two pitcher lineup going there. So that's one option. If you don't go with Choi, if you decide not to spend up, who are you looking at down there? They're talking about Pinto. Don't like Pinto. Bears give up so many points. Don't love him either. But now you give it. Yeah, I don't like anybody else. Yeah, I mean, you can't go with this guy because you already got a bear stack. You know, maybe you say, hey, 13 hits, 7 innings. No. What's his name? Oh, Pinto. Jang. Man, you'd have a real hard time figuring out who your other. I mean, you could maybe take a look at Lee, Young Ha Lee. You got 1 win, 2 losses. He walks more people than he strikes out. So I think you're looking at Choi probably spend up there. The league's way too expensive for that kind of strikeout to walk ratio. Maybe you say, hey, you know what? They're not going to keep scoring. The Eagles and the Wyvern don't keep scoring. They haven't done it all year. Yesterday was a fluke. Maybe you do grab Pinto. If you grab Pinto, then you got $4,025 average for your last 4 players. You can line that up easy. You know, you can put in pretty much anybody you want. So those are your options there. I'll see which way I'm going to go. Tomorrow we will recap this ridiculous Bundesliga, and we'll recap the MMA. That'll be happening tomorrow, actually. So we'll see how that goes. And then we'll recap the KBO from today. And then tomorrow we'll be looking forward to some more NASCAR. That's right, I said it. Looking forward to some more NASCAR. That's all I got for tonight, folks. Take care. See you tomorrow. And talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Be safe. Good luck.